I want y'all to pay attention to this height difference. It's crazy. Another big fight that Showtime announced. Please subscribe. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live.
The undefeated IBF champion, 21-0 with 15 knockouts, making the third defense of his title, looking for his 8th straight knockout win. The undefeated IBF junior middleweight champion of the world, Swift Jarrett Hurd. And his opponent is the WBA champion, 25-2-2 with 14 knockouts. He will be making the 6th defense of his title. He is a technical wizard of the sport. He is the WBA super welterweight champion of the world, Erislandy, the American Dream, Lara.
Look at this. Damn, we need a new fight night. We need a new fight night. Look at this height difference. Now, people were like that Jarrett Swift Hurd had on heels or something, or some type of, fancy smancy shoes. But then I went and did this. I went and got this, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Like, they don't look like heels to me. They don't look like, that's a crazy height advantage right there. What is he listed as? Let's go look at it. Now look at the shoulders. Let me move this over here. Look at the shoulders. And also, if you don't know, Erislandy Lara is one of those type of fighters who don't walk around too much bigger than his fight weight. He keeps himself in shape, or in fight weight like all year round. He's like a natural 154-pound fighter. To whereas in Swift Hurd, you can see that he can fight at 160. Maybe 168 one day. My God. Anyway, the fight's official for April the 7th. There's no venue as of yet. There's no undercard as of yet. WBA champion, only WBA champion at 154 right now, and IBO champion. Also, Jarrett Swift Hurd has his IBF, and basically this is a fight that for both of these guys had to happen because it's either Jarrett Swift Hurd was going to have to fight a mandatory, or he was going to have to fight a unification. And since they didn't want to go to Jamel Charlo is a WBC champion, and it seems as though Jamel Charlo is trying to. It seems like Jamel Charlo wants to fight Saddam Ali for that WBO title. Remember, he beat Miguel Cotto. He's a WBO 154-pound champion. But don't be surprised if they try to put Saddam Ali, meaning Golden Boy, on the Canelo versus GGG2 undercard. But if we go look at the rankings and the layout of the 154-pound division, like who were these guys going to fight? For example, Jarrett Swift Hurd, his mandatory would have likely been this guy because I know he's fighting Venice Martirosyan to be Jamel Charlo's WBC mandatory. You got Julian Williams coming up, but maybe he didn't want to fight just yet. He already beat him. And look, remember, when you're a champion, you have to fight one of these guys. You have to fight one of these guys. Or it has to be a unification. And it can't be Brian Castellano because in order for him to take this fight, he would have to drop this belt, similar to when Lamont Peterson had to drop his WBA World Underling belt, to fight Errol Spence because Keith Thurman had the WBA Super World. And then you have Saddam Ali over here. So right now, this is the best fight for both of these because for Lara, he's talking about if he wins, he's finally talking about moving to 160, and there's going to be bigger fights out there for him, but people will want to see if he wins for him to go on to fight Jamel Charlo. And it seems as though because these guys were in camp together, Jamel Charlo and Erislandy Lara, that they don't want to fight each other unless they absolutely have to. Even Jamel Charlo could have called out Erislandy Lara, who would have been the tougher test, but he called out Jarrett Swift Hurd. Instead, Jarrett Swift Hurd is fighting Erislandy Lara, If you don't know, Ronnie Shields trains Jamal Charlo, and he used to train Jamel, and Ronnie Shields also trains Erislandy Lara. So that goes to tell you a little bit of story about why those guys can't fight. But I'm looking forward to the fight, and a lot of people may say Erislandy Lara is going to school him. I hope that Jarrett Hurd understands that, you can't go out there and just try to box Erislandy Lara. You got to fuck him up. You got to crowd his space. Remember, look at his 2 draws and his 2 losses. Those are all 4 of those fights could have went either way. All 4 of those fights, because he doesn't have that extra gear. I've used the analogy before, is that Cuban fighters, especially like Erislandy Lara, he doesn't do overtime. It's jab, straight left hand. No body work, barely anybody, no body work. No body work. He don't do no overtime. So, if you force him to do overtime, he's going to start fucking hyperventilating and shit. He can't deal with the pressure of a packed Saturday night, in the restaurant, you working in the kitchen, So, I don't know. I think Jarrett Hurd can do it. It all depends on what kind of fight he's going to fight. He's got to go out there and do like Alfredo Angulo did, corner him, unload on him, let him know, like, yeah, you ain't going to be running around this ring. Take his bike. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Of course, there's going to be tons of videos I'm going to be doing all the way up until April the 7th and even after the fight, talking about all this. So expect, for me to be, obviously they're going to do an official press conference, for this when they get the venue and everything down. And then we're just going to start from there. Please subscribe. TstreeT Controversy, TstreeT Controversy Live.